1, 2. Hello. Welcome to the EasyBZ Podcast, where we love to keep it nice and easy. As always, joined by the squad. What's happening, Lauren? What's good, Brandon? How you guys doing today?
Hey, pretty decent. Brandon?
Pretty good.
All good all around. I love it. So we got a lot to talk to you guys about. We got a lot to get into. As always, appreciate every single one of y'all checking us out every Sunday. And as always, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Don't worry, we'll remind you guys throughout the podcast so you do not forget. Okay? We're going to beat it into your head until you do it. It's called peer pressure. It's what we do. It's our specialty. Lauren is definitely good at it.
Yep.
Aren't you?
Oh, no, I'm not. You're a liar. Anyway.
All right. So that's a part of her trick. She just plays reverse psychology on you. You know, that's what she does.
You know.
Reveal my secrets.
We got a lot to get into today, but first, let's get into the news. As a matter of fact, it's gonna be pretty much mostly news. Just being honest with you.
News.
It's gonna be mostly news, but we're gonna give some opinions, and we're gonna give some hot takes, and there's gonna be some spicy takes in here. I can already feel it. I can feel it in my somewhere that is not appropriate for YouTube. So,
how sus?
It's not sus. It's natural. Okay, get with the program. All right. But first. We talked about a serious topic on the last podcast episode. And, of course, something that's been dominating the airwaves that everyone's been talking about is the shooting that occurred at elementary school in Texas about a few days ago. And there have been more details that have came out now with regarding to the shooting. And it's mostly consistent with at least my opinion of our law enforcement and police. As sad and terrible and as horrific and horrendous as it is. Because the details have came out that the local police refused to go inside. They refused to go inside the school while the shooter was active. Their excuse was that they thought that the shooter had barricaded himself and that he was no longer an active threat.
Even though they actively were getting calls from the students begging for help with hearing shots in the background, as well as hearing the screams from outside of the school.
So, as you can see, it's already smelling like a whole bunch of, it's already, right? But not only that, as police do, instead of dealing with actual issues and something that is an active problem that you are hired to deal with, no, let's go and tase and actually arrest two parents that were trying to get them to get into the school. Yeah, let's not do anything to the shooter. Let's do stuff to the parents who are having their children being murdered. Right.
They were arresting a lot more parents because the parents were trying to egg the police officers for going into school, their job. They didn't like that they were being told to do their job. So they decided to and tase the parents. One parent, which I do not remember the woman's name, but she managed to convince the police officers to let her go and then find her own way to sneak inside of the school without a weapon, without protective gear, so that she can save her two kids herself.
So, A parent with no weapons, no protective gear, no training went in and saved her own children. Yet police, who are supposed to be trained and protectors and supposed to enforce the law and protect our citizens from harm, and that we pay all of our dollars to give raid equipment, even though there is zero clearly see for them to have, because they are completely irresponsible and not trained whatsoever to actually deal with our issues, problems, or any with any efficiency or
And keep in
right?
mind, they bragged about this very equipment that protects them from AR-15 rifle rounds. They bragged about it on social media, showing off with the photo, everyone in their brand new gear. The gear that would have protected them from a weapon that was less than an AR-15, if I remember correctly. So, crazy work.
Yeah.
But then the federal police came and they were there waiting 30 minutes before going in because the local police refused to go in. So the
And they
federal
were
police
arguing with the federal police
yes.
to not go in. And our
Yes.
federal police, that we keep in mind, were not.
So the federal police go in, they yell if you need
In the school.
and they ended up one of the students ended up yelling for help, and then the shooter heard them and went and killed the student that yelled for help. So a complete disaster.
I don't blame them too much, sadly, because they weren't trained and they were trying to do the best they were. Sucks given the circumstances. But they were doing more than what the actual police were supposed to be doing.
I find myself feeling slightly gaslit by our society when it comes to police, because I hold them to a lot higher standard than
What they're actually.
than what they're actually like for me, like, and again, that's fair to say they weren't trained on it, so how on earth are they supposed to know how to deal with the situation if they're not trained on it? But then my rebuttal to that is they should be trained on it to regardless. Like, school shootings are a national epidemic. They are a massive problem. They are a massive documented problem. And instead, our focus is away from dealing with, again, real tangible issues, and it's focused towards adding military grade weaponry and adding a necessary bolstering, military grade bolstering of police capacity, even though it's literally
funny.
Go ahead.
Which is funny because giving them the military grade equipment that our own civilians are capable of getting their hands on too as well, instead of just giving gun laws in the first place so that we wouldn't have access to these military grade weapons that we don't need to play with. Crazy.
So yeah, we went into detail talking about the gun law side of things, and like, you know, all of that, and how that's an issue. But I mean, it ties into this because you can clearly see firsthand, this is Exhibit A, debunking the theory of, oh, all we need is more people with guns. That will solve the problem.
As you can see, the problem is worse.
Yeah. So what use is the people with guns if they're not going to do anything to help? Right?
Yes.
Again, this is just a completely disgraceful situation, and it's nothing out of the ordinary. I'm so sick of seeing people act shocked or act like this is something that's brand new, or something that has just happened and they're just finding out about it. And the funny part about it is I've watched through the news cycle. I've seen it. We're in it. We live it. We live through media. Essentially, in a month from now, how much are we going to be talking about this?
Not at all.
Not at all.
We're going to
Right?
be talking about Kardashian's new hair color.
Or we're going to be talking about we're first it was abortion rights being attacked, then it was gun laws, now it's school shootings, then there's going to be some other issue. We're being bombarded left and right, up and down. We're being uppercut, being hit, beat up essentially with all of these societal issues that are being perpetuated by people in power. They are not being solved. They're being perpetuated. And we're led to believe that there's no solution, there's nothing we can do about it, that it's the other people's fault, right? We're pointing fingers. It's the other people's fault. And I can sit here and point fingers too, because there are a lot of people to point fingers to. There is a lot of blame to go around. When there are children who are losing their lives every single day, every single week, every month, every year, there has to be some accountability and responsibility. But at the
And
same
see, that's
time,
the thing. There's only one group of people who the finger should be pointed at this point, though, which is the government, the system, the very system that is in charge that could change these things, that continuously refuses to change anything, that we need to overthrow and rewrite entirely because the system is terribly outdated and things are just going to keep getting worse. We're going to get more laws taken away. We're going to have more violence. Simple as that.
the point I was trying to make was essentially, and basically what you're saying, but we can blame the government, but at the end of the day, who puts these people into office? Who participates in this system? At the end of the day, democracy is of the people. If that is not what is being, if the people are not what being representative, if we're not the ones being represented, then we don't have a democracy. It's very simple. So I think that all these issues, right, stem from a conditioning that we've been put in to kind of find and lock on to one thing to point to. And what I want to say is that I think now we've done this song and dance so many times. Calling the government bad is not going to do anything. They do not care. The next step is for the people to put the power into their own hands and to say enough is enough. We've exhausted all of our bureaucratic laws, our systems. We've played by the rules set by the rich people and the wealthy people and the more powerful. We have played by those rules. That has gotten us nowhere. Things are only getting worse. So I would say at this point, it's time for every single American to take some sort of personal responsibility for their government mistreating them the way that they are. And I think that at the end of the day, instant like these, situations like these will only stop happening when we demand it to stop happening. Not with words, not even just with action, but with substantive and complete change. So I just want to say that I am completely just torn up for the parents of these children, for the families of these children. It's indescribable, it's unimaginable, and we have so much work to do as a society, but I think now we have to move into a different kind of mindset. Like, enough is enough. So, um, next thing on the docket, unless Brandon wanted to say something.
It just really messed up. I
Mhm.
read another article related to this. One of
Mhm.
the students actually inside of the school during the shooting
Mhm.
saved her own life by doing something strategic.
Mhm.
She actually covered herself up with some of the, children who were shot, their blood on her and played dead, so the shooter would believe that she was dead.
It was her friend's blood that was right next to her that got shot.
Yeah.
It's not strategic. It shouldn't have had to happen to an
No,
11-year-old.
happened. But it's just crazy. The world
That
is
we have to think like that in those situations.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, and then it's, that's a good point. Like, it's not even just like the children who were killed and the families have to deal with it. It's their classmates too. Like, how are these kids supposed to go to school the next day and learn anything? Like,
They watch their teachers get murdered in front of them and then their classmates immediately after. And the sad part is, two of the parents whose kids died are thinking about having an open casket so that people can see exactly how bad their kids looked after an incident like that. Also, it's the fact that kids came out to their parents and realized that the cops were there the whole time and kept asking their parents, why didn't they help us? Imagine being in elementary school and realizing that the police, whose very job is to help you in situations like these, stood by while classmates and teachers died.
it's gonna be a lot of a lot of damage to their mentality.
And not even just that, one girl, her mom died in this. Her mom was a teacher, and she wrote a whole letter about how she's gonna miss her. And then a couple of days later, her dad died from a heart attack.
I saw that. Yeah.
She lost both her parents because of this.
For literally no reason.
Because some 18-year-old thought it would be a fun idea to shoot up an elementary school. And only for his mother to say he had his reasons to shoot up in an elementary school.
That I didn't see.
I saw the whole video of her crying on camera, talking about, just forgive me and my son. I'm so sorry. He had his reasons. What reasons? To shoot up 11-year-olds, 9-year-olds.
And it's so funny because we go into the discussion about these school shooters and they look a certain way, right? They have a certain ideology behind a lot of them. And yet, whenever it is the case that one of these white shooters are killing people, shooting up schools, movie theaters, whatever, the first thing that we go to is we talk about mental illness. And it's so funny. It's funny in an absolutely just terrible and twisted way. But the funny thing is, that's the first thing that will be brought up. And yet, once we start to have that conversation, it stops and ends just as fast.
Yep. Because nobody wants to help them.
The argument that we need to help these people with mental illness instead of doing anything about the guns that they have is such a hollow one, because the people who are making that argument don't even care about mental illness to begin with. They just want to distract from the crux of the issue, which is that
if it's a mental illness problem, why are you allowing guns to get to mentally ill people?
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as that argument's open, you realize how many people in America are mentally ill to the point where they shouldn't be allowed to get guns. Mm-hmm. You can be functionable and still be mentally ill. The majority of us, if you look at the statistics, almost everyone in America has mental illness. So therefore, that defeats that people shouldn't have their hands on guns in the first place. Nobody wants to have this talk about guns. Nobody wants to have the talk about helping people with mental illness. Nobody wants to have the talk about police needing actual training to do their actual jobs. But no, we'll just let kids continue to die. We'll let minorities continue to die. We'll let mentally ill people continue to get their hands on guns and get on the internet and get into these Redditor stories and links and whatever and have these weird ideologies where they just want to go around and murder people for no other reason than their own stupid fantasies. Let's just continue that route. It's wonderful. It's fun here, you know? Go America.
And if his name, I just want to say this last thing. If his name was Al Farouk Baghdadi, we would be trying to figure out which country we need to bomb.
That's so.
We wouldn't be saying anything about any of this. We'd be talking about which country are we gonna go over to bomb. We already bombed Syria, right? Already bombed Afghanistan. Already bombed Iraq. You know, so we'd be trying to figure out a new place to go ahead and bomb and steal their oil. That would be the conversation there. Yeah, we have to demand better, like truly demand better. So,
but everyone's too afraid to do so, and especially now when we have to focus so much on financials, being that everything's going up. It's truly a position we're in.
The joke is though, you could see this as a hopeful thing or a positive thing through all of this. But the joke is though that the class divide is becoming so strong and poor people are getting poorer and poorer and poorer. You're putting them at the point where people now are starting to have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when you give people nothing to lose, they become dangerous. Especially when it's such a large and I would say it would be a large and rabid section of the population, essentially. So billionaires, hey, continue to siphon wealth into your own pocketbooks. If you've paid attention to history class, that ends in only one way. that only ends in one way, typically.
Baby.
So
do not forget the French Revolution.
Yeah.
We can have an American one. Trust me.
I'm not this any talk like this is in a video game, by the way, but I'm just saying all this is we were playing what was that?
Mark Zuckerberg, Marie Antoinette. Come on.
What was that game? That Assassin's Creed game that took place in the
French Revolution? It was the third one.
It was the third one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were playing that game. So we were talking about that, you know. If anyone wants to ask, that's our
totally
PR answer.
Yeah. Totally.
So 936 Americans have been banned from Russia.
I wonder if I'm on that list.
You are not on the list. I checked. I went through and reviewed everything, and I didn't see your name. I'm sorry.
You know,
I wasn't on the list, sadly, as well. Brandon, for some reason, was on the list.
What are you doing?
Bro? What am I doing? I don't know, but you know.
I thought Russia would have liked you.
This is the man over here talking about digging tunnels to places. Don't think I forgot.
When did I say that?
Don't think I forgot. Don't think I forgot, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So 936 Americans banned from Russia. Among the people on the list banned, of course, Hillary Clinton was banned. Morgan Freeman was banned. Who else is banned?
I think Mark Zuckerberg as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was banned too.
Obviously Donald Trump was not banned.
That's his buddy.
That's
fam. No, that's fam.
That's his 9 o'clock booty call. So
no, but real talk. What did Morgan Freeman do?
His voice is just too nice. It's too buttery.
Yeah.
If the Russian citizens got a hold of Morgan Freeman telling them to stop the war, they would stop it instantly.
He's gonna come up to Daddy Putin and go, "I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed."
Oh man, I would listen to him. I would drop out, bro. I would bro, take my nukes, Morgan Freeman. Take all of them.
Morgan Freeman, I'm sorry.
Oh man. Yo. Oh yeah, like also just putting that out there, there's like a rumor floating around that Putin has cancer or something. Um
Daddy
so
Putin is sick. I'm joking. I'm joking, guys. I'm not on the side of Russia. I just
are you
want to
sure? You sure? Called that man daddy a few times. I don't know this. um
It's really
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Apparently that's a rumor. Again, like when it comes to war, you can't really believe any news people put out
It's
there
all
because
Right.
propaganda.
like we specified at the beginning of this whole Russia Ukraine thing is that propaganda is going to be rampant. So,
Yes.
now on the one hand, it's like, wow, oh no, I'm so sad. Right? But then on the other hand, on the other hand, what is more dangerous than a crazy person?
A dying crazy person.
A dying crazy person. A dying
Yeah,
crazy person.
honestly.
A dying crazy person. So that's a little concerning. You could just say, "Hey, I'm going out. I'll take y'all with me." Drop the nukes, and then they're all just dropped. Um, now
You know, I
I've
feel that would kind of be a funnel time. I just need him to redirect the aim towards us, maybe.
who is us?
Daddy Putin, please. America's going down bad, bruh.
You know,
Just
it's even us as in U.S.
he doesn't US. No, listen, in a video game, guys. In a video game, do you guys want us to get? Do you want the FBI at our door? Do you want the FBI knocking at
I
our
think
door,
this
please?
podcast is going to be very, very
What is wrong with y'all?
unfortunate.
Oh my
I mean,
god,
just hit Washington D.C. You know.
bro. Yo, we really need a mute button, yo. We need
Where's
like
the
a
House of Where's the House of Representatives located?
bro.
The Senate.
We need a bleep button, yo. What is happening? Let me just move on. We need a bleep button, yo. Next
Don't hurt
topic. Let me.
AOC. Just don't
No,
hurt AOC. We're all good. Just keep her and Mr. Bernie. We Gucci, bruh. Okay.
bro. I need to. You know what my dream vacation is? My dream vacation is to be chilling in the Bahamas on a beach with AOC and Bernie as we're getting suntanned and throwing rocks at the ocean. That is my
Actually,
it's one of my
my dream trio is AOC, Hassan Piker, and Bernie Sanders. I feel like we could have such a great conversation about politics, bro. Such a great conversation.
Hassan, call me.
I mean,
XOXO.
and don't worry, after Bernie leaves, after hours is beginning.
Oh no.
I'm sure we have a fun time.
Oh no. Oh
AOC,
no.
Hassan, call me up, baby. I'm ready when y'all are.
Oh my gosh. All right. Hassan, so I don't know whether or not to tell you to run or to hide, but you have to pick one,
Don't be
bro.
like that. Don't be like that. Don't worry, Hassan. As soon as I start posting on my Insta, you'll know I'm worth your time. I promise. I promise, baby. I play video games too.
Really
I'm a
good now.
gamer girl too. Yo, you're unbelievable. Oh, Brandon, dream trio to hang out with. Other than us, obviously, we're excluding ourselves from that. But other than us, dream trio, hang out with who? Who is it? Give me some
Alright, for
names.
some odd reason, I really want to hang out with Steve-O. Right? No explanation. I want to hang out with
Steve-O.
Steve-O.
It's so specific.
Steve O.
And who else would
Yo,
you put in that room? Two more people to put in that room, bro.
Let's see. Some reason, I want to have Snoop Dogg in the room too now.
Oh my god, it's gonna be
yes,
high
sir.
entertaining.
Now we're
Let's see.
talking.
Yeah. And let's see,
Snoop
who else
Dogg.
would I put in for me? I'll say, some reason, I want to go with The Rock. For some reason.
You see? This is exactly what the media does to distract us from serious topics. There he goes.
What we're
We
doing
are the
right
media.
now.
You see how
You
Brandon
became
deflected from our politicians' information to immediately going into nothing but comedy. That's media tactics right there, buddy.
we became the very thing we sought to destroy. Yeah, I mean that is a fire trio. Those Snoop Dogg, The Rock, and Steve-O. I feel like that's actually pretty hard. Like that's a pretty sick blunt rotation. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like
Does The Rock even smoke? He should. He'd be fun.
he most definitely does. Look, the oh man. We can talk about Hollywood and like the secret stuff that they do perception wise and all that. Like I don't know, cause I mean it's a lot.
He
I mean
works. He works with Disney, so he can only do but so much in the public eye.
in the public eye. That's the key. That's the key. In the public eye.
Yeah.
In the public eye.
Eye.
Just don't know much about his private life for
No.
obvious reasons. He works with Disney, so I don't know if he actually smokes, but I think he would be a fun dude. I mean, he's friends with people like Kevin Hart and stuff, so he probably does smoke. He probably do. It's likely, and I think he's met Snoop Dogg on occasion. So like, it's likely.
Anyone who has met and hung out with Snoop Dogg has smoked weed.
Yes.
Either accidentally or on purpose.
Or on
one
purpose.
Or the other. Happened, bro.
If you have any association with Snoop Dogg,
Yeah, like Fluffy. He went on to Snoop Dogg's show, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had him a big ass blunt, right? He didn't know what to do with it. He just said, "Fluffy, smoke this." Like it was all on cameras, and they said all the cameras start turning red. Record. Like he was forced to smoke.
He was like, "What are you gonna do? You gonna say no to Snoop Dogg?
To Snoop?
Passed you the blunt?"
I'm sorry. I'd love to meet Snoop Dogg, but I'm never going to meet him because one, he's definitely gonna outsmoke me, and two, I'm gonna die. I don't think I can handle that back to back, bro. I don't think I can.
I don't think I can. Like, I think just his fumes, just the aroma around him is just going to get into my nose and just intoxicate me. So I don't think I could do it either. I think
you walk
just
into the room, you're already high.
Yeah, I think yeah. Yeah.
Whatever Snoop's smoking is already too strong for someone like me.
I think he said
his own brand of weed.
Yeah, I mean he has his own brand. I think he was like doing an interview with like Charlemagne one time, and he was talking about there's a certain type of strand or something like that he smoked, and he was like, "Yeah, that thing's too strong for me." I said, "Huh?" I said, "What?"
That's scary.
What?
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking? I saw that interview. Yeah. Because sometimes I just I'll just watch random Breakfast Club interviews. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. Charlemagne, you suck. I was watching regular.
What's your beef with Charlemagne?
Oh yeah. I'm definitely starting. So okay, just to let you guys on a little secret. Any beefs that are on this podcast that I start with people aren't real, except for Charlemagne. Charlemagne, I actually have beef with you. So I actually you can assume I'm joking unless I'm talking about Charlemagne. Yes, I have beef with you. Yes, sir. Yeah.
But right. What did he do?
He spoke. He opened his mouth. And then he spoke words. And those words were all whack. So don't worry. I'll just come in here one day and I'll play. And some people out there who are listening know exactly what video I'm talking about. But I will play the Charlemagne out of pocket is it compilation? Yeah, out of pocket compilation. I will play it for y'all. And I won't say anything. And I'll just let the video speak for itself. And I'm just gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it rolling. But he was on the Breakfast Club when he said that. And it just made me think like, yo, even Snoop Dogg isn't like, it just made him feel a little mortal, you know? It was so strange. It's like, even he has his limits. That must be some crazy stuff, bro. Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere near any of that, anything.
You know,
any of that stuff.
Because death wish, I'm gonna have to find that clip and figure out what strand that is and find that strand. I'm not even gonna smoke like a puff and see how it fares.
Just,
Good luck.
yeah, good luck with that. So Brandon, we're probably gonna be doing the podcast like just the two of us again because once LAURYN goes into a 20-year coma after smoking that we're gonna need to learn how to do this by ourselves again.
We'll take all our recording equipment right in the
I
hospital.
mean,
We'll go to the hospital.
but who knows, man? I could become the coolest person ever after this. Have my nice little near-death experience, and I'll be lit. It'll be
Like,
great.
we'll
you'll be
put the
lit for it.
microphone. We'll put the microphone right up next to you. We'll be like, LAURYN, what do you think about this situation? Thanks, LAURYN, for your opinion.
You know what? I'll even make a whole YouTube video of me trying it out, just so we have content after I'm gone. I got you, bruh.
Oh boy.
I got you.
All right. So see, this is why you stick around to the 35-minute mark of the podcast.
I'll make it a 3-part series, bro. First you smoke it, then you gotta get the bong, and then you gotta make a meal, and we'll have it all three.
What are we calling this?
I'm very unoriginal with name ideas. I was just gonna call it smoke sesh. So I don't think you should let
Everyone
me
in the
name
comments section, put some name ideas down below. That's how you deal with it. Bam.
So when Adaze finds the clip of what strand he was talking about, we'll get a leeway on that 3-part series, dog.
That
No,
video's gonna be tired. LAURYN's heading to the clouds.
we'll look forward to that. Absolutely. I'm definitely gonna be clicking on that with my popcorn ready. ready to be very entertained. All right. So I think there's probably 2 more things that I really wanted to talk about, but this is another big one. So, and it cited a reaction from LAURYN, which is why I really wanted to talk about it, because I didn't know she felt this way about it. Because I have my opinions on it too. Brandon expressed his opinions. Now you might be wondering what I'm talking about, right?
I surely am. I don't.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay. Well, this will ring a bell. XXS Tentacion and Kanye West have a collaboration out now called True Love. Now, I'm going to give the backstory behind this before you guys give your opinions. Essentially, well, and you know what, LAURYN, do you have the article headline that you read that off of? Do you have the exact headline?
Kanye mentions what was it? Kanye mentions the little child thing. What is it? He's trying to get rights over his kids. He mentions it in the collab. That's what the title was saying. I don't have it because I scrolled past.
Yeah, it said something about like Kanye mentions Kim Kardashian custody battle in new song with XXS Tentacion. Now, Exhibit B or C or D or however many exhibits I have, why I hate the media. Because
you glossed over the important part.
Number one, I will give the backstory, and it's a great thing. I'm resident Kanye fan over here, so y'all could actually know the truth. Because when it comes to him and people like him, like, don't get me wrong, his behavior be extremely out of pocket, like a lot, a lot. Yes. But it's one of those situations where the media will always side against the black man to make him look as bad as possible, and Kanye doesn't do himself any favors. He does not, right? But when it's warranted, right? Then we should jump on him. When it's not warranted, bro, it's very annoying. Okay, for example, one fact, he hasn't posted anything in 3 months. He has been gone from society from 3 months. He hasn't said a single word to anyone or anybody. He hasn't been on Instagram, hasn't posted anything. The only thing that happened is he posted something the other day from his team, not from him, about a collaboration with McDonald's. And it was like one of those generic, like, you know.
I'm sorry. I'm really excited for that, by the way.
Yeah,
It looks
What
so
was it?
y'all saw,
down.
it's just a box though.
It's
I don't
just a
think
box
it's an
that
actual meal.
almost. It doesn't even look like it's just gonna. It's basically food shaming you for eating McDonald's instead of just making your own healthier sandwich at home.
Which, you know
And
what?
I live for it. I
You know
live
what?
for it. Good for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. If you go to McDonald's in 2022, you should be ashamed. I went to
Right.
McDonald's in 2022. I am ashamed.
I didn't go last year either.
I'm deep.
You know, I'm doing great.
It was out of sheer desperation, and I regretted it so fast.
Go to Wendy's. You know, that 4 for $4, that Biggie 5 meal. They're doing
Wendy's
great.
is fire. Wendy's is fire. Oh
Wendy's,
God!
yeah.
Listen, let's not turn this into a food podcast. Trust me, we can make it. We can make this 3 hours long. But yeah, that's the only thing he posted. So that's number one. Number two, this song has been out since the same exact time, 3 months ago. So he put it on Don the 2, the album that he released on his stem player. Remember the $200 stem player thing that he released, right? He released that song months ago. That song was recorded months ago. And at the time, obviously, he was going through a lot, including dealing with the fact that he wasn't with Kim K anymore. So what happened now is that X's estate, right? Which is I think, I don't know who has most control over it. His mother oversees it. I know the girl he had a child with is involved in it. And, you know, other people have, obviously, the label and stuff like that. X's estate is releasing a documentary on X, right? So in order to promote the documentary, they took this posthumous song that was made posthumously by Kanye on his album. They took it and they released it as a single, essentially, is what happened. A song from a few months ago. So that headline article acting like the song was a new song that he just released and he's sending shots at Kim K right now. No! The song has been released. The song was released when he was going through all that. He hasn't said a single word. He's been in Japan chilling with his new girlfriend. They haven't said a single word publicly. So
Can
One.
I please?
Oh, of course.
How is it a cover? Please explain to me for the last time, for the 1,000th time actually, of how this dead man continues to make covers. I am so tired.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about X. Let's talk about Let's talk about the fact that let's just you know what? Let's just address the crux of the problem. This is the main problem. This man is not alive. Yet we are still getting music from him. Why, you ask? Well, because the music industry is what we like to say greedy. And in the music industry, when an artist passes away, they still have access to their entire catalog, to songs they did release, to songs they didn't release, to any recordings that they made. They own them, essentially, if you're on a standard record deal. So, because X and all his recordings, all his songs belong to these people, it's theirs. Therefore, They can do whatever they want with it if the estate decides to do so in order to make money off of it. Now, I don't want to speak on his mother. I don't want to speak on his baby mama. Okay, I don't want to speak on other people's family like that unless they put themselves out there to be spoken about.
Yes.
However, when you look at someone like Mac Miller, on the contrast, their family's estate decided, hey, no, we're not going to release any more new music.
Precisely.
That's not what he wanted. It's not the vision that he wanted. It's not the creative. It's not creatively, wouldn't be exactly what he wanted it to be because he wouldn't be alive to see it come to fruition. He wouldn't be able to put his input. He wouldn't be able to make it exactly how he wanted it for the fans, for he wanted it for the public. So let's not release it at all. Let's respect his wishes. Let's let him live.
Let
peace
the dead
and
rest.
Yes.
Just let him rest.
Let him rest.
Why are you making this man work in the afterlife? Chill out.
But we've normalized posthumous albums, posthumous records, posthumous music. Juice WRLD. How much posthumous music has been released from Juice WRLD? Right? Like, there's so many countless examples.
I thought this man was living the whole time.
No.
Oh, I didn't know he died.
You didn't know Juice WRLD died? Wow.
No.
He died like 4 years ago.
I kept seeing music be put out. How was I supposed to know? If I'm not a fan, realistically, if I'm not a fan, how am I supposed to know this man is dead if y'all keep posting music of the... Does Michael Jackson still make music? No, he's dead.
Oh, actually.
Oh my God.
Funny story about that. Yeah. They're still releasing music from Michael Jackson too, just not as often. But
you know, I think I'm good. I don't even want to hear it no more. Brandon, what's your opinion?
Oh, they did the same thing for Pop Smoke.
The same thing with Pop Smoke. Same thing. Like, it's just standard practice in the music industry. I personally don't like it. I personally hate it. I'd be sick to my stomach if my music just started getting released in an unfinished state and it clearly not the way I envisioned it, and it just released it to the world for people to judge.
Completely fair. You know what? Completely fair. My point of view on this is, honestly, I'm gonna give you a calm voice for this one. My point of view as a narcissistic person that I am, if I made music as someone who wants to have a cult following, I would purposely make music that I keep on the side that's already completely finished just in case I died. If they didn't do that, it doesn't deserve to be released. That's not its point. It's not its point. If they're not like me, someone who would specifically set things aside, which I already have things in my phone notes and other things and whatnot that I sit aside specifically just in case I do pass, I still have wonderful artistic integrity things to leave behind. Great. Anything that's unfinished business of mine, you leave that thing closed. You leave it closed. Just let it die with me. It's finished too. It's never being released. But if they have finished works that they were like eerily close to releasing, fine, do it. Let it go. That's my opinion. Firmly.
I think that's what happened with Mac Miller. I think like he passed away, but then his album like it was essentially finished. Like he pretty much finished it, and they just decided to release it because it was done. That's fine.
Right. Yeah, that's fine.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But I am not a fan I'm not a fan of the whole posthumous music thing just in general. I'm just unless the person themselves was like, if anything happens to me, I want this to release. Oh, then that's a completely different story. Then that's amazing.
If it was like in their will or something like,
yeah,
I do pass or become deceased, release this album on behalf of my, Respect.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't the same thing happen with
Honestly, though,
DMX?
if you were a musician, I feel like, especially like someone as high of stature as some of the people who have died, y'all should just make finisher albums just in case anything. Like, especially those rappers who are into that gang stuff. Y'all should just keep a finisher album off to the side. Keep a finisher album and continuously add to it. So when, God forbid, you do die, you got the last album out already, dog. Your family's set.
I am trying to keep my composure because because of Lauren's statement of hey, y'all should just finish your albums, especially those rappers into that gang stuff. You know what?
I'm just saying.
You know?
I'm just saying. You just have a nice album that you just never release. So when you die, you have that last album to give everyone just the last piece of you, and then you're Gucci.
Oh man, yeah. So I hope Young Thug, Gunna, since y'all are constitute as being into that gang stuff.
Exactly what the people I was talking about.
I'm gonna need you.
That's going closer today.
I'm gonna
Gang
need y'all to
stuff.
drop some heat before y'all end up locked up in jail for
think
the
it's
next
too
60
late.
years.
A little too late for that, which is exactly why I said you should always have a finisher album that you just don't release and you keep adding to it.
Well,
So God forbid something happens, you got that last album that never released that nobody knew.
well, I will say, like, as like just speaking from an artist's perspective, like music is a very fluid and mindset thing. So if I make something that's I made something 5 years ago, right? And I make it with the intention of doing what you said, which is if anything happens to me, I'll release it. The only issue that comes with that is that you could be at risk of releasing something that you yourself don't feel is artistically up to par anymore because you've changed as a person, because your perception has changed, because the style of music has changed. So
Well,
it's a very
the joke is
fleeting thing.
that, so at the same time, it's just like songs that you never got to release that were completely finished. It's like a collection of just songs that you were just like, all right, I don't feel like releasing this, but it's finished in that moment. So you wouldn't really have that artistic integrity anymore. Anyway, especially if the brand's still gonna utilize, they're still gonna use you, past death. So I mean, you're giving them extra content that you would somewhat feel comfortable posting. In that moment that you finish the song, you feel comfortable about it.
But if it's a compilation of just songs that you finish, then it's basically the same thing that these labels are doing, is it not? It's just coming from different
No,
people.
those songs are
Because it's not
unfinished.
your artistic vision. It's just songs that are just you made, and there's just nothing more to it than that.
Fine.
To me, it feels like the same thing.
No,
But
when you explain it, you kind of right. You're kind of right.
I mean, regardless, I think that is true. That artists, you guys, let's first,
Let them rest.
no. Forget that. Let's not have terrible predatory record deals that make us release music after we die. How about that?
Yeah.
How about we just
They rest.
How about we do
I feel like the contract should be up as soon as they die. It's one of those like, oh, they're dead. What's the contract gonna do? Honestly, realistically, what's the contract gonna do? Who's the contract gonna come after? The dead man? What are you gonna do? Take his casket?
And just go to the funeral, just make off with the casket. I'm out.
Take him up right now. That casket's
Take him to the studio. He's not done. Take that boy to the studio. He's done. We'd say he's done.
Yep, sit him right there in the microphone.
Sit him right there.
Put it in his mouth.
Yeah. Give him some water. Clear his throat. He ain't spoken in a while. Clear his throat.
All right. Now move his mouth, get his stream, tie it to his jaw. Make him say something.
Yeah, get some shit.
He don't got his vocal cords. What you mean he don't got his vocal cords? You better get this man some vocal cords. Throw some organs in there. He gonna work today.
Oh man. Yo, put a hole in the plastic bag his body is in, all right? So he can speak out of it.
It's just sold. Oh, that soul is ready to make my new music.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah, please stop, guys. Please stop. Please stop. We don't want any more dead people music. Us three. A lot of people like this stuff though, but in EasyBZ's official opinion on this is that we hate it. We hate it. All three of us hate it.
They're gone. You already made the photos with them up in the clouds and all that stuff.
Oh my god.
So let them be there.
Those like memes with like the with like the bro when the Black Supreme Court justice, what's her name? I don't want to butcher her name.
I don't know.
I know what it is, but I don't want to butcher it. It's Kentaji Brown or something like that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes. I didn't know. Sorry, I forgot about her briefly.
I don't know if you saw the meme of like there was this meme someone posted, and I don't know if they were either they didn't understand the meme, how the meme worked, or they were trying to imply something like really gross.
They were implying that she was gonna die. That's what that was.
They put her.
They didn't like her.
Yeah, they put her on like they did the meme with the clouds and stuff, and like and then they had like all the famous dead Black historical figures, and then they had her up with there, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
They knew what they meant.
Yeah, I don't know. People are just weird and gross. All right, let's just go rapid fire because there's a few things that are on here that we want to give a quick shout out to. Colin Kaepernick is potentially might be on an NFL team. Let's give a claps for that. Let's just give a potentially, but then probably not because most of the NFL owners are racist billionaires. So
I better say honestly, even if I was given a chance, if I was Kaepernick, I wouldn't go back because all the hell that I went through just to support my own heritage and culture with the struggles that we're going through, and y'all kicked me off. I don't want none of your racist money. You keep that to yourself, boo-boo. I'm still rich without you.
Like, how many times has he tried to go back to the NFL? Like, one time he was here in Georgia training, I think, right?
Yeah.
He was at Drew.
Yeah.
He went to Drew. And now, like, you want to do this? Like, are you serious? Are you not serious? What's going on?
It's not him. It's
not him, but
yeah,
it's the NFL.
It's the NFL. Like once we don't want to offend any of our racist subset of our fan base, so that's why we won't put Colin Kaepernick on the field because and I'm not saying he's good, like he would start and he's like a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. He used to be good. He's not as good anymore. At the same time though, he's good enough to be in the NFL though. Like, let's be real.
But he's been out for a while too, either way. So keeping that in mind, but even still, as much as they blue-balled him for trying to get back in, why would I accept it if I was? I think at this point, I would just say no out of spite. Although this is his career, this is something that he loves, so it must be very different from him, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's easy to say that if we're like not in his shoes, but I mean, I feel you, you know, but at the same time, it's like if that does happen, if a team does eventually sign him, the statement that would make, I think, would be a pretty substantial
astronomical. It would. But the thing is, when they're signing him, are you sure that they wouldn't ask him to not do the things that he stood so hard for?
I'm sure that would be discussed. talked about.
That's the thing. That's why it's just like, I don't know if, even if he was given a chance, like for real, how much he might have to sacrifice. And being that Kaepernick has been so hard on his morals and values, I doubt he would put that aside if they did make that a stipulation.
That would defeat the whole purpose. That would defeat the whole
I
point.
know.
If he
Everything that
came
he's
back just to
built
not
for.
do that. Yeah. It's funny how like people get more outraged over a man kneeling while the national anthem is going on respectfully, because he asked a former veteran if kneeling was respectful, and the veteran was like, yes. So
And they
it's
had
fun.
numerous veterans online saying that it's also respectful.
So you have multiple armed service members saying that it was a respectful way to protest, and yet people will get more angry over that than children getting shot
And
in our schools. God bless America.
Yeah.
Let's get
the flag on a day-to-day basis by doing things that you're not supposed to be doing with the flag anyway. It's crazy. It's crazy. We love it here. We really do. I promise. I'm so happy to be American. Aren't you guys happy that you came here?
Well, I mean, there's a whole That's a loaded question.
Brandon,
Very loaded
aren't
question.
you happy that your family came here, bud?
That's a very loaded question. Brandon, you were gonna say something though?
I don't know what you guys talking about. So,
He has the same no comment strategy as me. Okay, I like it. I like it. All right. So, closing arguments are happening for the Amber Heard trial. Haven't been following it because I don't really care that much.
Did you guys hear about the fact that they had a metadata specialist come on just to say that the bruises that Amber Heard took pictures of was in fact edited in Photoshop to make it look like she had bruises and that they were fake all along?
yes, I actually been following this trial for some time now. I've been up to date with it because it's just funny and interesting, and that's funny. But how the trial is going and how, so I just watched a funny clip on YouTube from a guy named Long Beach Griffey. He made a clip of how Amber Heard.
Don't say a guy named Long Beach Griffey. How you gonna say a guy named Long? We know who Long Beach.
Oh, I thought you were about to disrespect him for a second, Lauren. Okay, I was about to jump on you so fast.
He made a video.
Okay.
He made a funny video about how Amber Heard assembled her team of lawyers. So it's just funny how Amber Heard has these lawyers. They don't seem like they're doing much, but you know, but during the trial, if I watch it, you notice how she always, when they ask her a question, she looks at the jury.
She looks at the jury. Yeah.
Yeah, she thinks her little looks and tears will sway them, even though she's doing drugs on the stand. I digress, though.
Yo, Lauren just said, yo, I'm gonna just say every out of pocket thing I can possibly say to Jay.
Did I see that?
We don't see her do the little sniffs every couple of. We see her doing them bumps. I seen it with my own two eyes. You are on camera, lady.
Did you see that one clip about was it one of her attorneys or whoever was like, "Here comes the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man." Did you see that one?
Why were they doing the Muffin Man song?
Because I think it was time because her husband, one of them, I think it was a female. Her husband would bring muffins. I don't know. He just got outraged.
Oh.
And then the other one, I don't know, it was her lawyer. They were looking at one of the outfits that Amber Heard bought and says, "That one looks cute. Put it on my list. I'll buy it."
Irregardless, I don't care about Amber or her team. Anyway, listen to Amber did bring up that Johnny's ex-wife, Kate, I think it was, that he pushed her down the stairs, but then Kate came forward and got on the stand and was just like, actually, I slipped on the stairs because it was wet and raining, and he came down there, he picked me up and carried me to the bedroom and then called for help, and now the internet's going crazy like, you should get back with them, they're your one true love, because of the way that he was smiling at her for testifying. It was really cute. I don't think they should get back together because, people had their reasons for divorcing. I'm not going to force a relationship because of one cute moment in a literal trial. But I will admit it was adorable how his face lit up when she was testifying for him.
Yes, his face lit up a lot. And he had that one guy he helped with his art career. He brought him to Los Angeles, bought did a art exam for him, whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
And, provided him a home in Los Angeles at one of the penthouses. So a lot of his witnesses he had support a lot, and
Right. A lot of them helped him a lot. Not even just that, but you see how adorable Johnny's been the whole thing. Like he's been doing little doodles and whatnot and showing his lawyers, and people were outraged about how adorable Johnny's been during all of this. So his lawyers were actually making fun of that in one of the videos. Like they mentioned the fact that Johnny's been doodling because they think that he wasn't taking the court thing seriously, but he's just passing the time. Look at Amber, she's doing drugs. They're both bored. I at least respect Johnny for doodling. Like he's doing his best. He's staying attentive.
Yes, he's paying attention. He's calm. He's not doing anything ridiculous like Amber Heard.
Exactly. And he's
So
not lying.
he's not
All of the
lying.
things he said have proof. Tons of proof.
And that one scene that says like to prove that Amber Heard was abusive, like I didn't hit you. My fist went like this. This is not hitting you.
Bro, I didn't hit you. I just slapped you really hard. That's not a hit. I didn't shoot you. I just pulled the trigger and the bullet just happened to pass straight through you. I didn't bite you. My teeth just happened to just be on your leg. So that's how that works.
At least now it's in the hand of the jury. They will now, go over all evidence and, see, who's really guilty and who's not.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's just hope the justice does. It's.
No, don't even finish that sentence. And I know you couldn't. I know you couldn't finish that sentence too. I knew you. Yeah. No.
Right in the middle.
There's like two words that don't go together is hope and justice. Justice. Two phrases. I'm sorry. Is hope and justice system. Those are the two phrases that don't go together.
In doing their job, those two things don't usually go together. Speaking of the justice system, did you guys hear? I can't find the exact article, which makes me so sad. But apparently, there was a black man in Arizona who was trying to apply for freedom. He's been in jail for like several years and whatnot. And they were like, he has evidence proving that he was innocent. And they were like, that's not your evidence proving that you were innocent is not enough to get you out of jail, basically, is what they were saying.
I think I saw it, but I can't get out of my head if I have.
No, the justice system is not supposed. The way it's designed is, in order to get the best results, you have to work within the system the best, not to necessarily have the most evidence or be the most honest or whatever the case may be. It's playing the system the right way. And it's just like how our political system is, like the electoral college, for example. It's like, it's not about getting the most votes. It's about getting votes in the right places so that you can get the most electorates. That's essentially the same way the justice system works. It's not about it's not about necessarily having like the highest moral standing or appealing to logic or people's reasoning. It's about playing the system well enough to get what you want. If the justice system was actually just, it would look a lot different and a lot more things would be working properly. There would be a lot less abuse. There would be a lot less systemic racism. There would be a lot less of a issue with people being falsely incarcerated. We would have a lot less issues if the justice system actually was a just system. So, I
But
don't
just
have any hope.
every
In
the
conclusion.
system is flawed and will never be fixed
Yeah.
because we're too afraid to do anything as a people.
Yep. So I hope that the justice system sides with the truth. It doesn't always do that, but in this case, I hope that it does. Whatever that means, whatever that outcome should be, we will see. The jury has to decide, and when they come to their decision, then we will go from there. I don't know exactly what the consequences of this trial will be if she is in fact found guilty. But I do know that it is not looking too good for her. To be fair, it doesn't look good for Johnny Depp either, and it's not his fault. That's just the way our society is. It's gonna be a minute, if at all, for him to ever recover from this entire nightmare.
Especially being a male dealing with allegations like these, there's going to be some people, despite the evidence, that are never going to believe him or give him the time of day.
Yeah, there's some people who are just like, oh, it's a man and a woman, the man's guilty. It's like all I need to know.
Automatically, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know some people like that, and it's like, well, how do you operate? how does your brain function? I don't understand. Yeah. So, a few more things. Really, the last big thing was Justin Timberlake selling his entire music catalog for $100 million. But I think we talked about the music industry enough. So, shout out to Justin.
Husband?
Getting that bag. Wow. I mean, if you want to go on a rant about your husband, I mean, because this was news to us.
Yeah,
I'm very proud that he had an offer like this. I feel like they kind of lowballed him. Not much, though. Not by much, because he didn't sell his NSYNC. He only sold his actual music after NSYNC, which, like, we got Sexy back in there, you know? At the same time, kind of worth more, but I digress. I'm happy for him. I do hope this doesn't stop him from making any new music, because I don't think he said he was stopping music. So, you know, he will get a couple songs or two. He's not like Rihanna, you know? He's given us something. He's kept the girls waiting, you know? But it's been a good run. I'm very happy that he got it. He wasn't making that. I don't think he was making nearly as much in royalties, nor would he in like the next 10 years. So he got a good sum.
I just love how we had to have that Rihanna mention. It's not EasyBZPodcast without mentioning Rihanna in some shape or form.
We're going to answer Rihanna when we can.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But no, yeah, shout out to him getting the bag, bro. When I first heard that figure, I was like, that's it, cause music, like buying someone's entire music catalog with the career of the caliber of someone like Justin Timberlake, it takes a lot of money. I know Lil Wayne sold his entire music catalog.
I'm sorry. It was mentioned that this same company that bought Justin Timberlake's bought Tina Turner's music for $50 million. So he got more than Tina, the Tina Turner. So to be fair.
So, like, I think the way they do it is like the projected use that they could get from it, like what value that they can get from it, like how valuable is it, not necessarily how good it is, not necessarily how historically significant it is.
Are you trying to Tina Turner's music wasn't worth?
What did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just say?
Don't talk to me in that tone. Don't talk to me in that.
I said that it is not.
I don't like your tone, sir.
Oh, so why do you? Okay, Lauren loves to talk to me in this tone, but when I do it one time, it triggers her. You see how it triggers me? You see, this is a learning experience for everyone.
Y'all guys can see Lauren versus Adaza in court.
This is not even. This is not even a versus.
All these verbal abuse and harassment.
Hey, listen.
First of all, excuse me, Brandon.
Y'all heard "We Cry Together"? Y'all heard that song?
No.
Oh, okay. We have to listen to it afterwards. Oh yeah, people who are listening to it, I'm sure they're already laughing. Because you don't know what song I'm talking about, but when I play it, I actually said when Kendrick dropped his album that song was essentially us, but like just to an extent, and I cannot wait for you to hear it because we'll listen to it after the podcast. But besides the point, what I was saying essentially was it's not about how good your music is or how significant your music was historically, but it's about the projected value of what they can get out of it in the future. Meaning that they believe that Justin Timberlake's music is something they could use more directly, instantly, and in the near future in maybe
I really
commercials, licensing deals, things like that. Versus Tina Turner.
music was a little out of date. No offense to my husband. Once he's ready to divorce his current wife and come back to me, Justin, please divorce her soon. I really thought the 2020 album was all about.
I've never seen her. I've never heard her say it so seriously. Oh God. Oh man. All right. So Lauren has made like 500 different enemies today.
Got a lot of enemies. I got a lot of enemies.
Yeah. Shout out to that song, yo. Before we go even further outside of the pocket, before we remove ourselves even further away from the pocket than we already have, let's go ahead. Let's end it right here. But as always, I really appreciate you guys coming and check this out. Remember to always.
I didn't like how you pointed at me, but I'm gonna take my cue.
It's not nice to point
Don't
at
forget
people.
to like, comment, and subscribe. To click the bell button so you can stay informed for however early or late or last minute that we may post.
All right. It's been the EasyBZ podcast. As always, keep it easy and BZ. We out.